Hello and welcome to the conversation on NTA. My name is Rita. Easter is here. What is Easter? What interests people about Easter? Why do we celebrate Easter? What does Easter mean to you? We have plans to find answers to all those questions on the conversation today. Some people say that Easter is the most important festival for the Christian. Do you agree?
Chukuma Ohaka is my name.
Welcome.
I work and I do business.
And of course, I have the barrister in the house.
Yes, my name is Ike Utazi. Lawyer, public servant, consultant.
Welcome to the show. Today, I have the privilege of hosting our chief host. How are you doing, sister?
Now I'm tempted to say something, but I won't say it.
We're on live TV.
Ah, it's true, I forgot.
Exactly.
Okay, my name is Elizabeth. Just that.
Elizabeth.
Okay, oh.
Just that. Don't add that part when you're writing her name. Elizabeth, that's it. All right. Welcome to the show. We're talking Easter today, and like I said, for Christians generally, Easter is probably the most important festival in terms of their faith all year through. Because, I mean, Jesus Christ was born, wonderful Christmas, we eat rice and we celebrate. But if the crucifixion and resurrection did not happen, then of what use is the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ? That's the question some people would ask. But let's talk within ourselves here. What does Easter mean to you? How do you approach the season? First, there is Lent. There is the Lenten period before you eventually get to celebrate Easter. How do you handle that particular season?
Are you asking me on a personal opinion?
Yes.
Because for me, no season, frankly. I don't hurry for any season. Call it Christmas, Lovers' Day, any day, any day, any day.
Exclude Lovers' Day, you have to hurry for that one. We'll talk about it next time.
Personally, I believe that every season should be treated as we should live life.
Okay.
We should go on. I don't think people should go out of their way to kill, to steal, or to do anything to make Easter memorable.
Okay, so now you're talking about some of the ills that come with festive periods.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Then, but as well, as a believer or Christian, I hate to always put believer Christians in. The birth and death and crucifixion of Christ should be something we should live on a daily basis.
Okay.
No season, particularly, this is a personal opinion, no season should be treated specially on how we should live, so that we will live because of that season.
But it's not all about remembering.
And that's why, you know, I did mention that I'm speaking a personal opinion.
Okay.
You know, I kind of disagree with you, because I think that from the spiritual angle, you always need to, just like she mentioned, you know, remember where you came from, and that helps you project for tomorrow. You know, everybody these days, I hear husband and wives quarrel when they don't remember each other's birthday. You know, it's a big issue. And then if you can quarrel with your husband or with your wife because of that, how much more if you don't get to remember the birthday or the death of the man who represents even more than just a husband to you? That's my opinion. Then on the second note again, I think that the events before Easter, for me, it's very important, because it serves as not just a time to remember. It's a time too, by the habits we carry on that period, we learn new things. We actually cleanse ourselves when we fast. And
that's for Lent now.
Yes, for the Lenten season. When you fast, you clean yourself. For some people too, I know the men who encourage their family to fast from a lot of things because they actually save money.
Aha.
Okay.
So they encourage the wives to cook less of meat, you know. But I tell people, beyond just the physical, the food, you know, fasting, there are a whole lot of things we can, you know, fast from. I don't know. Me, for this year, even though halfway I broke it, I fasted from certain things.
Okay.
I told myself I wasn't going to quarrel with anybody, you know, I wasn't going to fight anybody. You know, I was going to be very peaceful. But
you quarreled with me. That's one of the reasons.
And then you got on set.
Some people just have this habit of breaking your fast for you. Well, I'll let...
Did you have to break your fast because of some people too?
No. Well, thank you. When you were starting, you said, what is Easter?
Yes.
And I started thinking, one word. Even all these things they are saying, one word, love. Because somebody paid the highest price ever.
Yes.
For us. So the essence of the celebration is just one word. Love. If we can practice it, even the fasting you're doing is to take you closer to God. And why are you getting close to God? Because you want Him to love you and you want to obey Him. That is my own idea of that Easter. Remember that Christ Himself gave that injunction. He said, you should do this in remembrance of me.
Him.
He didn't say that for His birth. It is His death. He said, we should do
I
it
agree.
in remembrance.
Now I am having a reason to agree.
So it's an
Thank you,
injunction He
Barrister.
gave us. Then we go to the issue of fasting. Beyond the religious level, fasting has health benefits.
Yes.
So, but the take home is that Easter is for us to reenact that love. If somebody can take his life,
Give
surrender
his
his
life.
life for you, at least do small, the little ones. You know, it's the little things that matter in our relationship with people. When we were growing up, we go to our wall and write salutation. Salutation is not love. I grew up, I said no, I'm challenging that statement. If I have the courage to say, good morning, Lizzie, it then means I have some love for Lizzie.
Yes.
Some people don't greet each other in the offices, in the homes.
And they are fasting. No?
And they are fasting.
And they'll
So,
they are fasting.
no. You know, Christianity is a practical thing. Every religion is practical. Good morning, they cannot. And yet they are preparing the chicken they will eat. They think it's all about celebration. It's about showing as little. Don't show that type Christ showed. It's too much.
We don't need another Christ, actually.
Just good morning. How are you? Thank you. Small things. And life becomes very sweet.
You know, my mom used to tell us, her name is Teresa. I think she got the name at a point.
Auntie Terry.
No, it's Mother
Teresa.
Teresa.
So she used to tell us story about Saint Teresa, which she was named after. She said she liked the woman particularly, you know, and chose the name because of the story she heard about her. She said the woman lived at a place where she actually had money, you know, but she abandoned all that wealth and came in to live in a poor community. And every Lenten season, she went out there to do jobs for people. And a lot of times, people didn't really understand her, and they tried to make her unhappy. Some will pour her dirty water at the convent, you know, do all manner of things. And just like when I told you something when you walked into the studio, you told me, I love you too. I knew I was naughty, but you said, I love you too. So then, St. Teresa, you treat her badly. She'll just smile to you and tell you, how did you know? I enjoy being treated this way. I love you too. You know, it's the kind of spirit we should all carry, especially in Nigeria, where we claim we're too religious and we don't practice it.
Ouch.
You know, you see Christmas time, festive time like this, some people will cook and disturb your nostrils with all the sweet aroma. But get out that little bit, just like Christ, who we're representing or practicing or taking after, you know, shared his life for us. A little bit of that which you're cooking, give to your next door neighbor. I don't believe in preaching to get you to change your life. I believe in living it. You know, whatever you see in me and you like it, you come closer. And then you begin to change. Oh, this person, I actually thought she's wicked. I actually thought she's this. I actually thought she's that. I got closer and my life changed just for knowing her. We should live a practical life, not just what we preach. That's my thoughts. Which is why I always tell some pastors, when you see me hungry and you tell me, bless you, what is that?
How does that fill my stomach?
What is that? Please give me food.
But must it be only the pastor that will give you food?
No,
he
that's
just
not what
said-
I'm saying.
it's just
Generally,
an example.
there's some
I was-
pastors
I was-
that
I
will
was-
go.
you know,
Liz said that one of the things she said this year is that she's not going to fight quarrel.
For the
so I'm
Lent
trying to
period.
see if I can make her break her.
You already
Sure,
started.
Some people have succeeded already.
You
don't
already
worry.
started.
People
A
have
lot of
succeeded
people.
already.
Just the day I said no more, quarreling with anybody. That's the day they will
The
look for my
day you
trouble.
decide to fast is when they make the most delicious food and probably your favorite.
Oh,
Frankly speaking, I drew an inspiration from what Barrister said. Talking about love, the sacrifices Christ made. Those are very, very powerful and strong things that we should also put out in the workplace, in the environment where we live, for people to pick up. I'm a believer of the scripture that says, if you do not love your neighbor, how could you love the God you do not see? People at times on Sundays come up and become so much holy and everything, but once they come out from that Holy Spirit period of time of church and you see them behave another way, that is not what I believe. Why I said what I said earlier is that as Christians, we're supposed to practice whatever Christ has taught us on
all
daily
year
basis.
round, yes.
Because there is a lot we need to do. There is a little we need to do if we do all that we practice, all that we are taught in the Bible. If we are living a life of love, if we are showing the life of love, if we are making it look like this is exactly who we are, and we are that in everything, you see that sometimes you wouldn't need to leave your house to go to another person's house to settle quarrel. Because when you leave your house to go to another person's house to settle quarrel, you're wasting time, you're wasting resources. Most times we think that money is only when we give people money. When you leave your time, when you take your time to go and do something for someone to make sure that the person lives in peace, you've done a whole lot. But you see, sometimes when you leave, people are looking at you, how much has the person brought? You just come here to talk so much talk. So we living a life of love and making sure that every time in our immediate environment, extended environment, people feel that love. And we are positive examples to people around us. I think it will go a long way to speak about the season. Now,
one of the things that the season does is, it makes you consciously decide to do good. Human nature is, we want to be good. We know we should be doing good all the time, but we don't always do that. But that Lenten period is, depending on what church you attend, there is a conscious effort. You are told, this is why this is important, this is why you have to do this. This year I saw a trend online where they said 40 things for the 40 days of Lent. Now the idea is you get a bag and you keep it aside and pick things for the 40 days. Drop something in that bag that is not so important to you. You'll be surprised how important that thing is to somebody else. It could be a shirt you have that you are thinking when you lose weight you will wear, or when you add weight you will wear. But you just know it doesn't fit now, but you don't want to let go. Drop it there. By the end of that 40 days, you'll be amazed at what you have been able to put together. And then you can take that to an orphanage or to IDP camp, and you'll be surprised how that would affect people's life. While others are fasting, saving money for themselves, while others are also taking out food to go. Every simple thing. Some will say, oh, no meat for this period, no sugar for this period. I have a family friend whose children don't have access to cartoon for that 40 days. That's their own sacrifice for the period. So people do special things to mark the period of Lent. And here on The Conversation, we like to speak with you, right? So we decided to find out what you are doing to mark the special Lent season. What sacrifices did you make? What special decision did you take? It's The Conversation on NTA.
It's a time for reflection, at giving alms, abstaining from certain foods, like not eating meat, like not eating the 3 meals of the day. You can forgo at least 2 for the day during the Lenten period. That's what the usual practice.
The sacrifices that I have made as a person is to pray for the well-being of Nigeria and fellow human being, humanity in general.
My spiritual life has improved this period because so many times I've sat down to think about how Jesus Christ suffered because of me and how he died and how he was crucified. So my spiritual life is improved, seriously.
During the Lenten season, the spiritual engagement is that since I set myself aside to fast, I was seeking the face of God. There are some private things, some hard desires that I have that I put before God. So this Lent period, I was able to pray over them, fast over them, and I'm believing God for the testimony that will come later. So even if it has not come now, I believe it's on the way, and the Lord will do it for me, and will do it for every one of us too. And Nigeria will be a greater place for it. Thank you.
It's a season of repentance, where we abstain from a lot of evil acts. Because if you watch the generation of these days, there are a lot of evil activities. But this is a season of reflection, repentance. You give your life to Christ, because Christ died for mankind. So for that reason, we as human beings, and we are the image of Christ, of God. So this is a time we have to give up and go away from our evil acts and our evil deeds. Yeah.
You know, before the Easter period, we are on this fasting and praying period where you pray, you fast, and, look up to God for some things. Have true repentance from the heart of what, He has done for you, and try, to draw people. You try and build your spiritual life and help others in building their spiritual life in Christ.
Some of us have to fast and have to go on some spiritual journey, as in a sign of we have dealt with Him, we died with Him, and we resurrect with Him. And so it's all meant so spiritual to us. We are so happy at last it was risen up from the dead.
Easter is when we celebrate when Jesus was crucified on the cross and when He resurrected.
So have you done anything special this Easter period? Like, have you fasted or done anything?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Welcome back to the conversation on NTA. And yes, indeed, so many different ways that we can actually make sacrifices to mark the Lenten season. And people did make sacrifice halfway, Liz.
No, I have a friend that says...
How's is halfway until you came in?
Yes, my friend said his own is, he loves beer. For the 40 days of Lent, he will not do beer.
Hopefully he doesn't go back after that.
He doesn't do beer. On the 41st day after the Lenten season,
he will drink.
Come see this brother boozing, man. This guy will be drinking. You understand? But for the fact that it's Lenten season, no matter how you tell him about beer, he's not drinking. And he'll tell you, no, bros, don't tempt me. It's Lenten season. I'm not drinking beer. You see? So it's a temporary way of passing our way of sinning against God, and later we'll go back to it. That's why I said that it's not supposed to me. It's supposed to be a way of life.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be a seasonal thing. Our communication.
I'm just thinking, if you have someone who ordinarily loves beer and could stay away from it for 40 days, it might just be a period to say, finally, I'm free of this addiction.
No.
Why go back?
The guy does. If
you survived it for 40 days.
It's our understanding of what we believe in. He believes that period, drinking beer is offending God. So he doesn't want to offend God. And after 40 days, he goes.
But if you know that is an offense, I mean, if you think it's an offense, because I don't know which part that says it's an offense anyway, but if you believe it's an offense, why do you want to do it off-season? It should be both on and off-season.
You see why I maintain the fact that it should be everyday life.
No, 5 times.
She said something when we were discussing. That period, he abstained from what he loves doing.
Of course. No, not because it's a sin, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Remember it's like expansion and contraction.
Okay.
So that time he decided to contract his excesses. You don't know how well he might have related with God within that time. Because he will concentrate. You know, when you're drinking beer, it's a time for relaxation. So
Okay, he
you
will use
remember
that
in
beer
school,
time
when you are
too.
preparing for exam, you shrink. You don't play anyhow. Then after the exam, maybe immediately after, hey, I'm free.
I usually look forward to the day after the
It's
exam.
a period of sober reflection.
You know what?
So the issue of whether he likes beer or not, he has decided to deny himself those
Of what
things
he
he loves
loves.
doing for a purpose.
Okay.
So you may not know how he had related with his God within. You know, it's a personal thing.
You're right. You're
When you
right.
go to church, you know, you see a very big crowd, but it's actually
So
everybody is writing
we
his
were
own
viewing
exam.
it from the point of view of it is wrong to drink. But he is seeing it as something I love that I have to let go of for 40 days.
Yeah,
That's
as
pretty much that's
a
what it is.
punitive measure, so to
Yes,
speak.
sacrifice.
No, but there's something I always say about fasting. If you fast, don't store up what you didn't use. You know, some people will tell you, I'm fasting. Then they keep the breakfast in the oven, keep the lunch in the oven, and deal with all of it in the night.
In the microwave.
What have you achieved?
No, we are not talking of health.
You know, apart from even the
Yes.
health, the main thing comes, the benefit comes by giving it away to somebody who doesn't have it.
Okay.
You know, and then
can see.
health-wise too. You can imagine. I saw one stunt on I think WhatsApp. Somebody who was fasting. Everything he said, give me my own. Give me my own. Then once he was 5:45, he was checking time like mad. Once he was 6 o'clock, he
Banga.
forgot he needed to pray first. He went straight and dealt with all of them, including the snacks. I think we haven't really achieved anything. For me, fasting, for ladies, really, fasting, a lot of them use it to watch their weight. I'm not saying it's wrong. But if you're doing it for cosmetic reasons, it doesn't really make up. Find out that. I know some people that will tell you, I like to rub makeup. I like to wear makeup. But for the period of Lent, I'm not going to use makeup. It's something they like.
They
But
let
because
go
of
of
this,
it.
they want to deny themselves, you know, so that they maybe for some reasons just deny themselves for that period, that pain. They wear it. Whatever it is you like to do, you know, you mentioned earlier on that we should drop something every day.
Yes.
It could be something you don't use.
Yes.
Well, I totally buy your idea, but I still want to add something to it.
Okay.
For me, I think that you should not give out something because you don't need it or you don't find it useful at that time.
There's no sacrifice in
Sometimes
that.
there's no sacrifice anymore. Sometimes when you want to give, when I want to do my giveaways, my clothes, sometimes it's something, one of the dresses I like so much. And you find out, I'll bring it out, I'll hug it. You know, I'm going to part with this. But I say this is so painful, but that's where the benefit comes. I give it out. I tell people, don't give to people because you have extra. Give as if you have so much and the extra is there. Meanwhile, within you, you know you're giving your last.
I think it's a two-way thing. What you've said is very important when it comes to viewing it from a sacrificial point of view. But do you know that people hoard things they don't need that can help the ministry of somebody else?
Yes, yes.
This is the truth. You have suitcases guilty that you've not opened for years.
You're guilty of.
Well, I know I have something I've not worn for the last 2 years.
Can I come to your
Why
house?
are you keeping it? That's the question I'm asking myself.
One
Okay,
piece.
you want us to provide
Exactly.
you an answer?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know some time ago, I took Ghana Must Go, went home, I was sharing clothes. An uncle came. He said, don't do this. They will go and give it to juju people to deny you progress. I'm telling you. The thing dawned on me. He said, yes, that's true. I said, okay, let them go. He said, no, don't do that again.
No, but if you're scared of that, there are a lot of
No,
places
I'm
that
just
are
telling
going
you
to give them.
why
There are
people
different reasons why
feel
people
reluctant.
hoard.
But let's go back to the Bible. You know, that's the greatest book I've ever read.
Yes.
I've read so many books. Remember what Christ said? He said, he who has 2 coats,
Let them share one.
he should give one to a
the brother
person
who
who
does
does not have. That's the caveat there. Not to everybody. But you know how we give? We give this way instead of this way.
Yeah.
He said, give to a person who does not have.
We give to our friends.
So that
we
is...
give to our bosses in the office. The messenger by the door, you don't give.
Yes.
The cleaner, you don't remember.
So
you
when
go and
read
give
the
to your
Bible, you
boss.
see the
And sometimes you're
intellect in the
giving to your
Bible.
boss. He doesn't even, as he's collecting it, he's dumping it. He doesn't use it.
Easter. A whole lot of giving and giving and giving and giving. Also, we need to also think of other things.
Like
Easter.
what?
Go ahead.
When you talk about Easter, I go back to the word love. Because giving to the boss or to the people who are your friends because you want them to know that you're giving to them is eye service.
Yes, definitely.
It's not love. When you love, the first thing you think of is who are these people who can afford certain things that I can afford. It can be within the same office environment. Rita says she has clothes she has not worn for 2 years.
Don't worry, I'm losing weight, so I can come to her house. Go ahead.
I'm sure you won't meet them.
I'm sure in your office,
program.
Rita, I'm sure in the office environment, there are people also. I don't need to, most times, I don't want to give you because you can give me back. I don't know if it was you I was discussing with.
The joy is in giving to the person who can't
I don't know if it was you I was discussing
it.
with. I said, once I give you money, I don't pick your call. Once I give you money, once you ask me for money, and you call, you give me account, I transfer money. If you call me 50 times, I won't pick because I don't want to hear thank you. Because sometimes people overdo it. And during this Easter period also, there are things we also need to also do. What have I been able to do in my immediate environment? And because he was asked not to share his clothes, he has stopped doing that.
I didn't stop, frankly.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't?
I'm too civilized for that.
That's good.
Me? You don't know me well. They will just, I'll laugh it off. You know why? The things we think are beyond us.
The things we think are beyond us, they're not within our control, but this conversation is within our control. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. It's the conversation on NTA.
I don't think in gender boxes at all. I just get on with it.
A man that would dare to ask the wife, who do you think you are? That is a real man.
In fact, our husbands are our firstborns. The husband needs more attention than even the children.
It's not only about work, it's not only about family. They need to take the time to look after themselves, and we don't do that.
They took my money, I paid every fees, I never asked to be hoisted as a governor. I wanted to be allowed to go out there and contest for the position of governorship candidate first.
There's nothing greater than looking back and seeing that while you were aspiring, you were able to inspire others.
Empower to women. Yes, we need to have more women, more multitaskers around Nigeria to get Nigeria working.
Definitely.
Welcome back to the conversation on NTA. We have been talking about the things you need to know, do during the Lenten season as we head towards Easter. One of them is giving gifts, including Easter eggs.
You know, I've always wondered why they give Easter eggs.
Why Easter eggs? They
Yes.
have chocolates in egg shapes, sweets in egg shape.
Please.
They're not real eggs, are
I'll
they?
give you my address. I'm waiting for my own Easter egg.
Your own Easter egg.
Please, so everybody.
Chicken laid.
No, I'll collect my Easter egg.
Please, what's the essence of eggs?
Like I said in my place, you are wishing somebody to procreate because you know eggs are for procreation.
Eggs are for procreation,
Yeah.
and he's demanding for eggs. So that's
it's
more
business.
Okay, more children for you.
Yes. No, children are blessings now.
Okay, receive it.
I receive.
I also found out somewhere that it also symbolizes the coming out of the tomb of Jesus Christ. You know, when you break the egg, life comes out of it. So it's like Jesus Christ coming out of that, you know,
that could
tomb
be
where
the
he was
symbol.
buried, you know. So there are different reasons why it is done, but just like most festivals, it becomes something that is significant for the chocolate's sake, for the sweet sake? Because I see all kinds of shapes and sizes.
I just like the paintings they
do
the
around the eggs.
You know, and then it's fun when you sit with your kids with your pen and all that. You color it and get it done, then give to neighbors. It's really fun, to give to people.
But don't give me the one that is not edible, though, whether it's egg or chocolates.
No, the edible eggs, really. Just get your
So you boil it first, or how?
No, raw one. In the in the crate there, you make a design. It could be nose, it could be mouth here, or you draw a cat, a bird, using the whole crate before you give it out as gift. It's fun.
Interesting.
It's fun. And then when you're taking it, I always say I've taken the leg. When you take one egg that represents the leg of a chicken, you say I've taken the leg and I'm eating a whole chicken, which actually is the egg, is a whole chicken. It's fun. But talking about Easter, I actually would want to stress more on the events before Easter. I know that I'm Catholic, and the Lenten season actually starts with the Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a big symbol. I make sure I go and, get the ash.
In the morning?
Yes.
I know people who go for night mass on Ash Wednesday.
It reminds me of who I am, And then the Palm Sunday, which is Sunday
that used to be my most favorite when I was in
Easter,
Catholic church.
Before Easter. The Palm Sunday, it's the triumphant entry. So it tells me something again, that we all have capacity to be big, but we choose to be humble.
Yes.
Christ had the capacity to be big, and actually he is big, but he decided to be humble. So it's and no matter who you are, you should learn humility, and humility in service. When he was washing the feet of the people during the Passover, he said, if you think you are the leader, the herd, start by serving. But what do we get today? What's happening in our nation today? A lot of us think because we have acquired
so much
status, so we carry so many bodyguards, we step on people who are down below. These people took you up. You step on people, just to exist.
Status.
You want to show that you have influence. You look at somebody and say, kill him, kill her. Whether it's physical killing, whether it's by slandering with your words, whether it's by character assassination, I think is wrong. If you want to be the leader, you should learn to serve. Just like the mother at home, I won't eat until I'm sure that my children, my husband, my visitors, whoever around has eaten, and then I'm sure that everybody's done. Then I check, is there a remnant? That's the one I eat. And maybe I wouldn't want to say here. So it's not too much of a sacrifice, really, because the bottom pot is usually sweeter, especially if you're doing jollof rice or ekpakoko.
Wow.
So
that's
the
where the
key
ingredients go and collect.
The key thing there is sacrifice is key within this period. There's something else that interests me with festivities, especially in Nigeria. I think it happens world over. It's a shopping season. It's business. For a lot of people, while we are all Lenten and thinking of love, they are thinking, what should I stock in my shop? Because, people will need this. Eggs for gifts. They would need to have new clothes. Some people buy clothes because it's Easter. Some cook special meals. Transportation sometimes becomes a big deal. Do people travel as much as they do during Easter like they do for Christmas?
Yes,
they do.
They do. But not as much as Christmas. But now what most communities do now also is they also use Easter period to have a particular festival that would make people who are in the diaspora come home. You understand? So that they can always see. For we who are from the eastern part, we always love to go home when everybody is home, so that it affords us the opportunity of seeing and talking and planning, knowing everybody's welfare. You understand? So transportation.
And maybe marrying yourselves too.
Well, yes, because it's also, since we have been quoting the Bible, they say you should marry from your system. You understand? So marrying yourselves is also part of it. And the Easter period also should be the time we can also take some goodwills home. Take some goodwills home. You're talking about shopping. If you can afford to buy and give those who don't have, take that goodwill home. If you can afford to have a town hall meeting where you can come and tell your people about the importance of goodwill. Take it home. If you can afford to go, in the last episode we talked about the climate change and everything, gather a consultant to come to your village, and because you know people are coming in, you take that consultant home and let people have one goodwill they will take. Because Christ symbolized that. He took time to go to places, taking the gospel, liberating the poor, speaking and making sure that people have something positive from him. So whatever you can take home, if it's a meeting where you bring people to come and give sermon that will impact lives positively, take it home. Barrister has said that they said some evil things happen in his village. If it's a time to go and contradict that and preach to people, after preaching to people, you give them those materials you have, take it home. The most important part of it is a time someone that we all believe in sacrificed his life for the sake of us.
Okay.
And because of that, what we sacrifice for the sake of others is important. For me and the business people, yes, we must fill our shops because people need to come and shop. And these people, if we don't provide the services, you lose money. We also need to do that. People need to come and shop and we make
we
money.
always experience price hikes sometimes during festive seasons. Christmas is
We don't do that.
something else for transportation and some particular set of goods, that some consumables that are essential for the season. Do you experience that during the Easter season?
It's all year round.
It's a Nigerian thing.
You know, it's a Nigerian thing.
You know why? Just like he said about how do we celebrate this, they say it should be an everyday thing in your mind, the way you relate with people. In those days, we only eat chicken when there is a festival.
Yes.
Other days, we eat ice fish. So
the ice fish is very sweet too.
You know, the tide is changing. So now, when there is festive season, that's when families have even time to get together, talk among themselves, eat, and enjoy. Some people didn't go home for December, they will go for Easter. They have family meetings. What is the way forward? Miss A will marry. So these things bring us together. So the demand for goods and services will immediately
go up.
But the thing is that I think we should actually bring it down a little bit. I know some big shops here in Abuja and Lagos, during festive period, they do some percentage discounts. You know, they go on sales.
We do so.
No, you don't.
We do.
Okay. So they go on discounts. And so I think that, and you keep wondering why they are growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Like I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, you need to have loyalty cards, you know, because if I know I'm going to accumulate points, and maybe when I'm broke, I can go out there and buy milk and something like that with my loyalty points I've gathered over time. I'll continue to shop with you, you know, to grow on that. So this same thing, these shops are doing, the bigger shops. Now the man who is just starting, or the man who has been there but not as big, will rather, when you come to his shop, you've been buying from him January to December. Typically, go to all the markets. Then Christmas time, you come in to buy in box, maybe to go home. You know, the man will not do discount for you. And he will actually tell you price has gone up because of the season. When you even finish buying the high costs that he has placed, you're going, maybe your balance or change, as we popularly know it, is 200. I tell Madam, leave it now, do Christmas for me. I'm like, are you kidding me? There should be a small hamper you give me as a you know, a loyal customer.
The person I shop from in the markets, open flea market that I buy stuff during the season, is actually very different. You know, when I was done buying stuff that was in December for the Christmas, he said, we have to give you something for Christmas. Pick anything. I couldn't believe it. He said I should pick anything from the store. And I was like, are you being serious? He said, yes. I was a bit, you know, reserved. So I think I took a box of cornflakes. He said, no. He dropped it and went and gave me a keg of vegetable oil. I couldn't believe my eyes. This is strange, but I loved it. So now we have a personal relationship. I would WhatsApp what I need to buy to them. Before I get there, they have it all packed. I just pay and then I pick it and I go. Just for that singular action.
It's what those are the dividends of service.
And then incentives you need to give to your customers.
Appreciation of Loyalty, yes. Loyalty card, gift giving, those are business ways of appreciating customers. And every customer will want to have something free.
Absolutely.
Every customer would definitely want to have something free, no matter how little it is. You would want to come to a shop and know that even if it's the way the staff greets you specially, you understand? And when you walk into a shop, I'm happier when I walk into a shop and the people know what I want.
Yes.
And they take me to those areas, or they tell me, "Oga, I will have new things, so we have new of those things you like." It will also make me want to know that, hey, because we are Nigerians, we forget every other thing. We want to also feel recognized. Now, people don't, some shops till tomorrow only think of how to rip people off. The only way they think they have arrived is when they rip you off. And it's not encouraged. It's not.
So I guess the point we're making is, even for business people, even at Easter, it's a time to show your customers love.
Yes, it's a time to. If overseas, there are these periods. If you go to shops overseas, you would understand that they do Easter sales, periodic sales. They do, and those times prices are really low.
They drop.
Yeah, prices are really low. We take advantage, and you see that. Most times, these price hike things are not done by the major shops. It's those other ones that are within the nitty-gritty of areas. Those people that will sell their corn for 50 naira, because you're driving a Mercedes-Benz, they'll tell you it's 200 naira.
Yes. Even if it's 50, they will not have change.
No,
you still leave the 200 naira. There will be no change.
Have you noticed that with this taxifiers and Uber people? You pay them, they never have change. Yes. They are waiting for you to, leave the money for them. So some people devise means. So you sit down and wait. It's your time you're wasting. So the change will come out.
No, it should be a policy or a principle that during this period, please, you have to be friendlier. You have to also make sure that your prices are good. Because forget this fact, most times prices are not changing. People hike prices because they think it's the season, so we have to make more money. I'm in the business.
Okay.
Prices are basically most times not changing. They're almost the same.
Perhaps it's the other thing that adds to it. Maybe transportation increases and then the price builds onto the goods.
What I could say from this is that the people in the open market think it's a rush period. And because it's a rush period, they put just price up a bit. Because people buy. Because people are buying, they just begin to say, it's our time to make. I engage some in 1 or 2 times and I ask them, why are people doing this? They say, leave, it's the season, let's make this money. Because in the other season, things are slow. Make more now.
This is when we should just grab it.
But for me, I still maintain my ground. It has to be everyday way of life. I don't need to increase my prices because Christmas or Easter or Ramadan. They can even enjoy more incentive for me because it's seasonal.
Speaking about incentive, we've been talking a lot about pre-Easter. What we should do pre-the-season. And then finally, voila, this is Easter. How do you celebrate Easter? I want to know. I need to know whose house I'm going to on Easter Day. How do you celebrate Easter?
I don't want
you go to Mass.
No, I don't want to answer. Sir, you won't come to my house.
Okay.
My people know.
Thank God I don't need Easter to come. How do you...
my people know they are traveling. So
they will travel?
Yes.
And you will not travel with them?
Because I work.
So what do you plan to do on Easter? They go to work?
Easter days are usually my rest days.
Wow, interesting.
Easter and Christmas days are different days.
No, I'm talking about this one. How do you plan to celebrate this?
There's a question. Yes. She wants to visit.
How do you want to celebrate?
Easter days are usually my rest days.
So you plan to just rest for this Easter?
I will always rest.
We have to do something about that.
Don't worry. We will go to his house. Luckily, I know my way. I will rest in his kitchen.
More endowment. How do you plan to celebrate Easter?
Well, like we've been talking, Easter is a period of rest.
See these men, they don't want to spend money.
You're not going anywhere. So on Sunday, we go and worship God, come back, do our RSVP, rice and stew, very plenty. And
add unkwacha if there's unkwacha.
Yes.
What is unkwacha?
He knows.
Palm wine.
Sister, talk to me. How we celebrating Easter?
Anyway, generally, I think Easter is a fun day. For me, it's... I always look forward to it because during the Lenten season, you try to do one sacrifice or the other. And then the last week, which is the Holy Week. It's for those of us who are, the Orthodox churches, especially Catholics, it's very important that we observe, you know, the rules, and it comes with a lot of spiritual exercise, physical exercise. So when you're done with it, you know, the Stations of the Cross, like you mentioned, the midnight masses, the Passover masses, and all that, and then the Resurrection Day proper. It's you even if you didn't want to celebrate, if you participated in all that, there's this joy that comes from within. You know, you feel like you're just next door to God. I mean, if you're not in the same room, really, physically speaking. So I have that joy, and the joy actually moves even into my kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yes, it moves into my kitchen. I like to have a different kind of aroma. If this year I did Spanish, next year I'll probably want to do Chinese. You know, the other time, don't worry. This year
what did you do last year?
No, this year I'm going to do Nigerian.
This woman.
Better. Afang soup. Better. Edika Ekong.
And you know that my people are not around though.
You're watching your weight.
No. There's always a cheat day. So I've chosen my cheat day to be that Easter day. So on that Easter day, I'm coming.
Don't worry. There will be roadblocks. It's not for people like you. I'm opening up for all my brothers on the streets.
Nice.
On the streets.
So you're going to be cooking for people.
So make sure. I actually like to do that.
And
you know, yeah, we're all street people because we walk through the streets. So we go back and.
How convenient.
I'm still going to come.
So we all go out there and share with some people who do not have. It's a rule for me, you know, and what you said earlier, I start my first day of the 40 days to keep something, not necessarily what I don't want. I've had occasions when after 1 week I go back, let me wear this dress once more before I give it out. But I try to school myself. So that at the end of that 40 days, it's also a time for me to give out what I collected. And I try to give out, like you mentioned, where I'll never cross that road again, so that I don't get to see those people. You know, and if
you don't want to get that thank you,
they wouldn't even.
It takes away from the fulfillment. Yeah.
Apart from the fulfillment, I feel it takes away from the blessing as well. Because if you give to someone who's going to give you thank you, you know, God has already. I think you already received that's my feeling.
I believe too. That's why I avoid taking any call. Once I don't shoot money, give you for your account. If you're calling me, I'm running from you.
Please send me money, I will call
you. No.
But that's not to say you won't give to people around you that actually need it.
No. Those are my. That's our first responsibility. We have to care for those who are around us.
Absolutely.
Now, it's not like it's bad to give people around outside your immediate environment. But when you begin to give to people outside your immediate environment and your people in your immediate environment are suffering, I think it's a misplacement of priority because charity is living in the house. Charity is our neighbor. So she's living in the house. So charity begins at home. You have to give from people. People in your home also need to be okay. You can't become a king outside and your people around you are paupers. It's not nice. Most people do it to take accolades. Most people give out money outside so that people outside could say that they are good. Maybe at home, people are suffering. No, you have to start from home. Get it from home, saturate the home, take it out. It's all about it. When people outside know that the same way they feel is the way the people inside feel, there won't be envy. But when people inside see that every time you load your car with bags of rice and they are looking for crumbs to eat even, they are not seeing, they'll begin to plot evil. Now the kidnapping plot will come. But because, no. Truth is, when people are, it's not like evil is evil, we pray against it. But when people around you are happy, consistently happy, not because of your pushing it on them, but the little you can afford to give, you give.
So maybe Easter is also a time to give some bonuses, right?
Yes.
Your domestic staff or, those around you, give them something, some form of gift.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be cash,
I say it doesn't even have to be material things. Giving, you could decide, okay, for the whole of these 40 days, I'm going to look out for that person I haven't spoken to any day and say hello to that person. And before you know it, you might just discover that person will become your very good friend. After the 40 days, that greeting will continue. But make efforts to give smiles to people. you know.
Last Easter, I think I'm thinking of what happened between me and my workers. It was either Good Friday or Easter Monday. We all went out. I told them it was their night, whatever they wanted. That night, I'm not going to be the boss. That I'm all going to be the boss, and I'm going to be the servant. Now I'm on their instruction. So I now asked them, take me to wherever you want. So they took me to a couple of places that were very crazy places. And when we finished now, and it was time everybody was going home, and they now saw the Igbo man in me. As we were coming back, and it was about 3 a.m. And I was going home. Yes, I told some of them, okay, I made sure that everybody got home. And those that couldn't get home had to have a place to sleep. So, and as we're all going to sleep, I said, you know, we're opening office by 7:30 tomorrow. I bet good day morning shift in the morning. all of them went mad. All of them were going, how now? I said, but we're opening office. You know, I always make out time.
And you know, they were closing shop.
Yes.
I just say we're having fun.
So I always have time twice in a year with my workers, Easter and Christmas. And why I do that is I need to see the informal part of them. And I need to also them to, because sometimes when we go out, I watch them to see the extent they can go. So when I have my private time with them, I could also tell them that this and this and this are excesses. You shouldn't continue in this kind of thing. I do it and I bond with them. I try as much as possible, though it sometimes is a bit difficult. But when I identify some excesses in them, I try to tell them, guy, this is not good, or this is not good.
All right. Right. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. We've been talking Easter on the conversation. The one thing that I'm taking away from today's episode, I don't know about you, is love. So however you celebrate this Easter, make sure you show love to someone. We don't mind. Share some to us. A big thank you to our friends at G&C. And yes, they are doing more for us. Thank you for the furnitures you sent to us, and we are expecting a lot more from you. We are Oliver Twist. Bye-bye.